So last May at 6:21 in the morning on a weekday, 65-year-old Leonard Smith, he stood on an LRT platform waiting for a train to take him to work. Now, Smith has to take the train because he's visually impaired. He's almost blind. Now, suddenly, Smith was attacked by a man who cut his throat from ear to ear with a utility knife. He made a 24-centimeter gash. Doctors told Crane the knife missed his carotid artery by a mere 4 millimeters. And had that artery been cut, Crane surely would have been killed for the crime of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Now, the man who randomly cut Smith's throat is a violent, chronic offender named Bobby Crane. Crane had been sentenced to 6.5 years of jail time over multiple crimes since 2019. That math doesn't add up well, does it, though? Clearly, he didn't serve that time, as he was free to attempt to murder an elderly, visually impaired man last May. Now, last week in an Alberta court, Judge Harry Van Harten sentenced Crane to 2 years less a day to ensure Crane doesn't have to go to a federal prison. With time served in remand, Crane's going to be on the streets in a little more than a year. I wonder if he'll succeed in killing somebody during his next period of freedom. Van Harten noted that treatment for FASD would serve Crane better than doing prison time. This may indeed be true. Prison does have a way of making dangerous offenders even worse if they aren't treated for whatever their underlying issues are. We should be looking at ways to reform offenders and avoiding prison when possible, and we need to expand our treatment options. But that said, public safety has to come first, and Judge Harry Van Harten has not done so. With an offender as dangerous as Crane, we need to seek treatment options while he is secured. Letting him out is just inviting another random crime against an innocent citizen. And then this is where it gets worse. Justin Van Harten went further than just pointing out how Crane needed FASD treatment. He said that generational trauma from European society is caused to generational trauma European society is caused to Indigenous communities has to be addressed. Really? And we address that by freeing dangerous criminals? If indeed this generational trauma is going on, where is the judge going with this? And he also said the history of colonialism has to be taken into account. What a load of woke crap. Crane is 25 years old. He never attended a residential school, and he likely can't even define colonialism. I don't doubt he's had a hard life, and our messed up reserve system has doubtless contributed to that. This doesn't, though, negate the risk that Crane presents to society. We need to examine our entire First Nation system. Absolutely. The reserve system's failing by every measure, and the outdated racist Indian Act should be repealed. That giant ball of wax, though, is not Justin Van Harten's responsibility. Van Harten should have been considering what risk Crane would present if released, rather than dwelling on the broader issues of European influence on modern history. I do hope to be wrong, but I fear I won't be. Crane is going to reoffend violently and soon after being released. They don't just get better after a little while there. He randomly picked out an elderly, handicapped man and tried to murder him through cutting his throat. He's a cowardly, violent man, and he won't be any less so in a year and change from now. I know we need better ways to treat offenders, but until those means of treatment are developed and available, the best way to protect the public from violent people like Bobby Crane remains incarceration. The system's failing to protect us, and woke judges like Van Harten should be held accountable if we're harmed by their refusal to incarcerate dangerous offenders.
The current Lethbridge feed grain prices are as follows. Cash barley's at $4.50, feed wheat's at $4.64, and corn's at $4.59 per metric ton. In the milling wheat markets, March Minneapolis futures are flat at $9.33, with local hard red spring bits for December movement at $11.75 per bushel. In the oil seeds, nearby canola futures are down $1.40 at $8.34.70 per ton, with delivered values for December movement at $18.70 per bushel. In the pulse markets, nearby red lentils are holding at 33 cents a pound, and yellow peas are trading at $12.75 per bushel. In the cattle markets, December live cattle gained 42 cents at $153.10 per 100 weight. For more information on grain marketing, call me at 403-394-1711. I'm Sean Smith at Marketplace Commodities, accurate real-time marketing information and pricing options.
Canadian Shooting Sports Association. Without the CSSA, our gun rights would have been taken long ago. These guys are on the front lines helping to draft smart and intelligent firearms regulations and legislation in Canada, and more importantly, educating the public about how we keep guns out of the hands of the wrong people. To become a member, it's absolutely worth every penny. You can become a Western Standard member for just $10 a month or $99 a year for unlimited access.